But then rolling over to the rest of the NFL, we'll give our thoughts on the week 4 slate of things since we don't have the Dolphins game to talk about this Sunday. We
Yeah.
already got to live the pain of that. And honestly, best case for me, since I'm going to be up in Halloween Horror Nights this week, I'm a little concerned because I'm going Sunday, and I haven't seen anything. But Haley, she said like she's like seen like the Hulk ride is currently partially underwater.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, the
crazy.
part of the Hulk ride, because you know that part of the Hulk ride where like dips like this,
Yeah.
it's like partially underwater. A chunk
Well,
of the Jurassic Park indoor ride, like the roof part of the roof, like got blown off apparently.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So and that's just on his adventure part. So who knows what the Universal side of Halloween Horror Nights is going to look like? Because I was talking to my boy. He said they have a few like tent rooms there. Like a few of the houses are just tents. No shot, those are still standing.
No shot.
So I'm a little concerned about that, but it is good that I'm not gonna have to rely on watching the game on my phone. I'm gonna watch the rest of the games.
Yeah.
But first game of the week 4 slate, the Bears and the Giants. First one I have here. I know your order is a little different because mine's on ESPN
Yeah.
based off the teams I have favorited. Man, that is a horrible game. That is the worst two and matchup of
How are
2-1
both of the
teams.
how are both of them 2-1?
Bro, Justin Fields doesn't even have 300 passing yards on the year. Andrew, I'm sorry, you can't win like that consistently.
Wait. He
That's
doesn't have three.
terrible.
He doesn't have a 300-yard game, or he doesn't have.
No, total in three games, Justin Fields doesn't have 300 yards. He has 297 yards.
You're telling me?
It is the worst three games starting stretch by a quarterback in modern NFL history.
I don't want to hear any Tua slander anymore.
Yeah.
Anymore.
I understand. And I also talking to one of my coworkers who's an Ohio State fan. He's like, "Oh, he doesn't have weapons. Oh, he doesn't have offensive line.
Darnell Mooney is really good, bro.
300 yards in three, not even 300 yards in 2 games. You're averaging 99 point something yards
You
a
know,
game.
you know that he has the highest percentage of throwing the ball more than 20 yards downfield as well.
What, does that count like the yards into the stands?
So
Because he's been terrible.
I think we're
The
both in agreement here. The Giants are taking the win.
I mean, I'm not fully sold because like the rest of their team's actually been playing really well.
Their
Like
defense
the
has been
defense has been
playing.
playing well. Roquan Smith's been a baller so far. And then Khalil Herbert stepping in for David Montgomery last week, balls out. Um, I'm gonna take the Bears.
I'm taking the Giants.
That's
So you're
understandable.
you're, you're taking the Bears to be a little bit spicy. I'm taking the Giants just because it's the safer option. As long as Saquon stays healthy, if Saquon goes down, I think I get the Bears.
Yeah,
Um,
well, because I mean, he does tend to do that.
uh,
Moving on to next, honestly, might be the game of the week.
Game of the week, 100% game of the week.
Bills Ravens, absolute. That's gonna be an absolute slugfest. Talk about like we were talking a little bit. We did make a review or preview in the Dolphins game, just because we got lazy and played Warzone instead. Um, but we were talking about how, or I was mostly talking about how it made so much sense that the Dolphins were going to lose yesterday to the Bengals. Coming off an emotional game, it was so hot, so many players injured. Buffalo's got the same issue. Gabe Davis is still hurt. Their secondary, they're obviously going to be without Mike Hyde for the rest of the season. Their secondary is still hurt. Tre'Davious White's still in the
Player
PUP.
Trey White can come. Oh wait, no, this is the last week
Yeah.
before Trey White can come off.
So, and then you have the best player in the NFL up to this point, Lamar Jackson. Best player, him, Jalen Hurts. I mean, I love Jalen Hurts, but I also love Lamar Jackson.
So
Dude's been balling. He is the current MVP favorite through most betting odds. Bills Ravens. I'm also a Ravens fan, guys. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Ravens are going to lose. Just like every time we sit here, I'm not going to tell you that the Dolphins are going to lose. I'm not going to tell you that the Ravens are going to lose, especially if it means putting the Bills to
so
2-2. Give me the Ravens.
I think a very important part of this is going to be if uh if Jordan
Jordan
Poyer
Poyer
plays,
plays. Yeah.
because that's really going to be heavily decided on. Jordan Poyer can take Mark Andrews away. And if he can take Mark Andrews away, then you pretty much just have to contain Lamar Jackson, and that's their offense.
And there is the issue. We saw what Tua did to the secondary of the Ravens. We saw Marcus Peters getting burned. We saw the young corners making mistakes by the Ravens.
They are getting healthier though.
They are, but Josh Allen is also the best quarterback in the league and is currently the leading passer in the
Yeah.
league, 1,014 yards, 9 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs, leading receiver in the league before yesterday's games, which doesn't really count yet. Uh, you're going against that The secondary, big question mark. I am going to still give it to the Ravens, though. Because, again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Ravens are going to lose.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm just to, be spicy. I'm going to take the Bills.
Oh, if they're going to say be spicy and pick the Ravens, you suck. I mean, if my math is correct.
I'm going to do – I'm actually, you know what? I'm switching that up because the Bills suck in close games.
Yeah.
The Bills, I believe it's going to be a close game, and the Bills suck in close games. I'm taking the Ravens.
I love to hear it. And if just my NFL math is correct, there is a scenario that the Bills could be bottom of the AFC East this time next week.
That's crazy.
Yep. Because they be 0-1 in division. The Patriots are also. I don't know how the math.
Patriots are also 0-1.
I don't know how that math works. So I'm taking the Ravens there. You say taking the Ravens also?
I'm also taking the Ravens because I believe it's going to be a close game, and Bills have the worst record over the last 3 years.
So you're saying the Bills are the worst team in the league? Okay, that's what we're rolling with.
That's what we're rolling with.
So, but that's not the first game of things. That's just the teams I have favorited.
Yes.
Believe it or not, guys, I actually have the Giants in here. So anybody who claims I'm a Giants hater, please back up. Like Tyrell, I don't hate the Giants. I don't hate the Knicks. Quite the contrary. I want them to be good, and I'm just pointing out that they suck. Sorry. But the first game of the day is he probably doesn't. The first game of the day is the Vikings and Saints game. That's going to be in London. The Saints are going to be without two of their best players. Michael Thomas is going to be out. James is going to be out. The Vikings 2-1 had a great comeback win last week against the Lions. They were down by double digits, multiple points in the game. The Lions did get beat up as the game went on, so that does probably attest to what went on there. But is there any disagreement here? We got Vikings.
Taking the Vikings. I don't trust Andy Dalton. That's why I also have Chris Olave on my sit list this week.
That's gonna be a difficult decision for me.
Yeah, I know it would. Because you also got to think Jarvis Landry is also questionable, so he might not go. Thomas is already out, so
yeah,
you're talking about.
You're going across the pond. You're going and playing in London in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You're going over there with your backup quarterback, without your number one wide receiver, Alvin Kamara, waiting for him to show up on the scene, right? And then the way the Saints have looked this year, losing to the Panthers last week, they very easily could be 0-3 right now if they had not come back against the team that everybody comes back with the Atlanta Falcons. They very easily could be 0-3 right now. You're going overseas, backup quarterback. I don't like it. I think Vikings -3. I think that's like the bet of the week.
Man, I do a custom custom points.
Ooh, that hurt.
I do a custom points and probably do -10.
Yeah, I think you buy or sell some points.
Yeah,
I can't disagree with you on that one. So both easily Vikings.
Clearly Vikings.
Clean sweep there. Browns Falcons. I am a lot higher on the Falcons than pretty much anybody else in the league is. I think I'm higher on the Falcons than Nehemiah as a Falcons fan is. They easily could be 3-0 right now if their first two games gone differently. They win last week against the Seahawks. If they just don't choke, who do they play in week 2?
Rams.
They had an opportunity to beat the Super Bowl champions in LA. Ramsey intercepts that pass in the end zone. Goal line, yeah. They could easily be 3-0 right now, but it's the Falcons. This is what always happens. Mariota, my fantasy guy. I refer to him all through the fantasy process as baby Jalen Hurts, and kind of reaping the rewards. I'm sticking with the Falcons. Falcons taking the dub at home against the Browns.
No way Brissett's going to look this good 4 weeks in a row.
Eventually, really. Are you just saying that because I used the Browns and Madden yesterday and absolutely whipped you?
No.
That is why you're saying it. The Commies and the Cowboys. Fun fact, my dad's going to be at this game.
Really?
Yeah, and he's a Giants fan. Long story as to why he's going there, which I'm going to leave off camera. But yeah, Commanders, Cowboys, kind of like we were saying about Jameis, or not Jameis, about Jacoby Brissett. How long is Cooper Rush going to be an undefeated quarterback for? He is one of 2 undefeated quarterbacks in this league currently, him and Jalen Hurts. He's going against the Commanders, though. I hate to say it. I think the Cowboys are going to go to 3-1.
I'm going to disagree with you. Carson Wentz season, baby. Carson Wentz going to shake off that rough game last week. Going to come back.
Rough is putting it kindly. He was assaulted last week. He should file for a restraining order from his offensive lineman.
See, the thing is, though,
9 sacks.
The thing is that the Philadelphia has defensive talent all across their defensive line. Cowboys just have Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons takes
That's
up
pretty
like
good.
Micah Parsons takes up like three of your linemen. I'll say that.
Pretty good.
But other than that, they have absolutely no one. Trayvon Diggs sucks.
He is the
it,
literal definition of boomer bust.
bro. So I'm gonna take the Commanders, the commies, just because my cousin's also a Cowboys fan. So screw you.
People are probably getting annoyed with how much I'm calling them the commies. Like I started saying it like when pretty much as soon as they changed their name, I started calling them the commies.
Dude,
and I have
the
not
Sentinels.
it should have been. Or I liked Armada. I liked
See,
Armada.
the reason you know why I like the Sentinels is because the movie The Replacements.
Never seen it.
You've never seen the movie The Replacements?
Nope.
With Keanu Reeves.
Me.
We do have a guest in the studio.
And who's apparently judging me. Like just
fairly
listen, guys, just because I don't see wild peacocks on the daily doesn't mean I'm that worse than you guys.
Inside joke, guys. Inside joke.
I mean, not really. It's pretty straightforward. For some reason, you guys have occasion where you wander upon wild peacocks, and I don't. Anywho, what were we talking about?
So I was saying that the Commanders.
Oh yeah, I was talking about football.
Yeah. I got the Commanders over the Cowboys.
Oh, you were talking about the name and
yeah, I was talking about the Washington Sentinels and then the movie The Replacements with Keanu Reeves. You need to see it.
No,
you live under a rock.
I don't like sports movies.
He also didn't know who Jim Cantor is.
Did not know who Jim Cantor was. Now I know he's a legend. I know he's a legend. I get that now. I see this man like holding onto that stop sign like it's the last thing he'll ever do.
Are you okay, Jim? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. He's like 150 mile per hour winds. Yeah, but no, football movies suck. I hate sports movies. They're cheesy, they're cringe, and they're aimed at people that don't watch sports. All right,
I'm not gonna disagree with you there.
The only sports movie that I enjoy is actually one of my favorite movies ever, and it's Moneyball.
Moneyball
is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
So good.
Because they said, screw you, people that don't watch baseball. We're gonna make this as baseball nerdy as possible. I don't even really like baseball like that. Like I don't really like baseball, and I have no idea really what to talk about. So like they said screw you, people that don't watch sports. They said screw you, casuals too.
Yeah, they pretty much did. I love it. So I guess we're gonna be moving on to the
Seahawks and Lions.
I'm pretty.
We're not agreeing.
You're not agreeing.
The Lions are really beat up.
I don't care.
What is their offense going to be?
They have Jamal Williams, who is more than serviceable.
Let's be real though. At the end of the day, he's Jamal Williams.
It's also the Seahawks.
Seahawks have looked good. Outside of week 2,
they beat the Broncos, and that was it. The Broncos suck.
They've looked good.
I don't care what you say. Broncos suck.
I'm calling an upset. I'm going Seahawks.
I'm going Lions. They may not have Amon-Ra, they may not have Swift. They still have Hawkinson. They have DJ Chark. And I think they're gonna do really well. I'm actually gonna call a 10-point win.
I'm going with Seahawks. Lions are Amon-Ra. Please don't be out more than 1 week. My team needs you. Both my teams need you. The Seahawks looks pretty sharp so far. But I understand going with Lions that one. Titans at the Colts. This game ain't worth watching. Tannehill sucks. Hate to break it to you. He's not on the Dolphins anymore. In case you didn't realize, you don't have to keep defending him. He's not a good quarterback. He's actually pretty bad. But both of these teams are pretty bad. Matt Ryan leading the way, and it was 75 of 117, only 3 touchdowns, quite a few interceptions there. Michael Pittman is the only good wide receiver on either of these two teams. Please actually just give it to Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry the entire game.
I 100% agree with you there, sir.
I have him.
And that's actually my prediction is that these guys combined are going to have under 250 passing yards.
I want Tannehill's hand to get tired from just going like this. Like I want his shoulders to get a little stiff because he's never raising it above his head. He's just going like this. That's all I want Tannehill to do all game long. Because in the Publix League, I have both Taylor and Henry.
Yeah. So
Saucy.
I have no one on the Titans, but I do have Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to call a pretty reasonable 23-20 win for the Titans. And yeah, whatever. And it's going to be combined rushing yards are going to be over 300 and combined passing yards are going to be under 250.
I think it's going to be a 2-0 game. Jaguars and Eagles. That is
You skipped a game, by the way.
not on my side. I didn't. Jaguars and Eagles. That's football. The obvious games of the week. Like obviously the Bills and Ravens are going to be nice. Obviously, you look down. You have the Chiefs and the Bucks. You have the Rams and the 49ers. But like people like you me who like are really invested in the football. This is a fantastic game to get to watch. The last undefeated team in the entire league with the Eagles and the Jaguars, who've caught the league by storm. James Robinson has said what Achilles injury and has been one of the best running backs in the league so far up to this point.
I will gladly take credit for being right about that.
Yeah, shut up. I know you will. Jalen Hurts. I mean, I've been raving about Jalen Hurts at this point in the season. I still think the Eagles are going to win this game, but I think it could be pretty close.
You see the look on my face.
Are you going to call it upset?
I'm calling it upset.
You think the Jags are going into Philly?
I'm thinking the Jags are going into Philly, and I think they're going to knock the brakes off them.
No.
I do. I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to go for over 350 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and I think they're going to have a decent run game. I think ETN's going to be a lot more involved this game, though. I think they're going to be throwing a lot of screen passes to him.
Yeah, I think you're nuts. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think this has a possibility of being a close game, but I just love how the Eagles have played so far. I mean, I made a video. I made a video about it on Monday.
But it's not even just about how the Eagles have played offensively. Their defense has been really, really, really good.
Yeah.
I think T-Law takes that massive step.
I think he will. I just don't think this is a game from. Look at the Eagles at offense. Jalen Hurts, 3rd in passing yards, 2nd in total touchdowns. Looking on their defense, they're number 1 and they have the most sacks in the league. They have the 5th least points allowed. They have the 3rd most yards allowed in the league. They're on both sides of the ball. There's just so much alike on this team. They're like 5th in the league in rushing offense. The Eagles so far have been the best team in the league. Jalen Hurts has been one of the best players in the league. And I don't see them losing for a long time. I think the 72 Dolphins are going to be waiting a lot of time to pop the champagne.
I don't think so. I think they're popping it this weekend.
I disagree. I got Eagles.
I got Jags.
Jets, Steelers. Jets, Steelers. Don't watch the game.
Don't watch the game.
If you want to enjoy your Sunday, do not watch that game. That is going to be horrible. Joe Flacco against, I guess, Mr. Trubisky one more time.
Wilson's coming back.
Is he?
Zach Wilson got cleared to play.
You're right. I forgot he wasn't on the PUP. I was thinking he was on the PUP list.
He practiced fully today, and he is cleared has no designation.
Okay, so just tune into that game to watch Minka Fitzpatrick have 3 pick sixes.
3 picks, 1 pick 6.
Oh my gosh, don't be still salty. Yeah, I think the Steelers are taking this game. I think he's going to come back a little rusty, having not had a lot of time practicing so far, and then the Steelers defense I think is just going to overwhelm him in this really bad Jets
team.
mean,
TJ Watt's not there, so
it's not. But secondary is still pretty good.
Secondary,
and the rest of the defense is. I mean, video last week. I know defense doesn't win championships, all that, but the Jets are bad. The Jets are a bottom 3 team in the league going into Pittsburgh. I got the Steelers. Call the Jets. Go ahead.
Calling the Jets.
Whatever. In the last of the 1 o'clock games, Chargers and the Texans. That's weird that's a 1 o'clock game because isn't that like 11 o'clock in Houston?
Yeah.
That's a really weird 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, that is. But I mean, it's such a boring game at that too.
It is. Like the Chargers should win, but the Chargers have been like the biggest letdown team of the year. Mainon, I know you're injured, blah, blah, blah. Brandon Staley, I don't think it's the guy.
Brandon Staley sucks, but he's not.
I'm not going that far, but
I just don't think he's not worse than Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith is the worst coach in the league. I'm taking the Chargers.
Yeah. I'm taking the Chargers too. Yeah. I hope Eckler finally pops off because the one. Did you know that the Chargers have the least big plays in the league?
Yeah.
That's outrageous, and they have 13 big plays. That's passing plays over 20, and then rushing over 15. I think it is. Only 1 rushing big play on the season, and then 12, plays of just Herbert just missiling it downfield. So that's weird from an offense that should be big play, but Brandon Staley has no idea how to run an offense. So, but I still agree. I have Chargers taking that. Moving on to the 4 o'clock games. Who's been a bigger disappointment? The Cardinals with the Panthers.
Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals have been bigger disappointment, but they're probably going to win. Hollywood Brown is finally looking good in this team. Kyler Murray he played well so far in the season. Not great, not awful. He's been all right, but the Panthers are just really bad.
I'm taking the Cardinals as well. Yeah, it's not double XP weekend, so the beta's now over.
Yeah, the beta's over. Kyler Murray can go back to studying film, maybe put that clause back in the contract. But yeah, I not really much reason. I actually just found out the Panthers. We were talking about this yesterday. I never knew whether they were in North Carolina and South Carolina. Apparently, they're in North Carolina. Good to
Told
know.
you.
Patriots and Packers.
Packers.
Yeah, obviously Packers, but like
Mac Jones did practice today.
he's not playing.
He's not playing, but he did practice today.
That's good and all, but I just don't want to watch this game. Like, big name, Patriots, Packers. But the Packers offense sucks. Aaron Rodgers has less than 700 passing yards on the season so far. He has one of the least amount of passing yards. I'm scrolling through this entire list. I think he has more passing yards than Jared Goff. Oh, sorry, no, he doesn't. He doesn't have more passing yards than Jared Goff. He has more passing yards than Daniel Jones. He has more passing yards than Marcus Mariota. And that's it besides Garoppolo. Aaron Rodgers has had a terrible start to the season. And it makes sense because he has no receivers around him. But the Patriots
did miss game 1, and now he's without Sammy Watkins, which is
yeah
pretty much his only 2 veteran receivers. Everybody else on that is a rookie. Romeo Dubs or Dubs. Is Dubs. And then Christian Watkins. Is it Watkins?
I think so. That's the thing. Like both, and somehow the Patriots wide receiver core is worse. Like their leading receiver Nelson Aguilar, 11 catches for 179 yards and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill had a better week 2 than that. So the offense of the Patriots is so bad that it's gonna be Packers. I think they're gonna pretty easily win this.
Pretty easily, especially with Brian Hoyer starting.
Yeah, and then another disappointment bowl, the Broncos and Raiders. Raiders are playing for their season, but for what we talk about the Broncos, the Raiders have been just as worse, if not more bad than what we've seen from the Broncos so far. Similar issues of not like bad play calling, not taking advantage of your talented skill position players. Brandon Jacobs, geez, that's a throwback. Josh Jacobs only has 192 yards on the ground, but is the leading rusher between the two teams. The only thing I like about either of these two teams is a connection that Russell Wilson and Courtland Sutton has, and I think
that's still garbage.
It's actually 19 catches for 291 yards. Sutton nearly has 300 yards on the season. That is pretty good.
Tyreek Hill has pretty much.
Tyreek Hill is also currently the leading receiver in the NFL. Like that's a pretty hard benchmark to top. Like I'm looking at also AJ Brown has more. Tyreek Hill obviously has more. Waddle has more, and Diggs has more. Next person is Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton is the top 5 wide receiver currently, and he's on my fantasy team. But I'm taking the Broncos.
So I'm gonna take the Broncos as well, but strictly for the reason that it's really just gonna be who has the worst game management. The Broncos defense has at least been pretty good.
It's been a top 3 defense.
Raiders defense has not been good. I think they're really Broncos are just gonna get lucky offensively, kind of like what they did in their 2 wins. And
I think the
Raiders offense is just.
I think the Broncos are eventually gonna turn around. I know I sound crazy, but I think they're eventually going to turn it around.
Maybe that coach that Nathaniel Hackett hired for situational game awareness, pretty much to help him tell time.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. Yeah, he should just give play calling to an offensive coordinator, so they get the play.
So you just look at the clock.
So he just it's really just you're not getting the play into the quarterback on time. It cuts off with 15 seconds, but they're breaking the huddle at 7 seconds. That doesn't give Russell Wilson enough time to look at the defense and evaluate what he needs to do.
Yeah.
Now, could that also be on Russ for not getting get the play call at fit, because they cut off the mic from the coach at 15 seconds. So is it Russ not give them the play and get them at the line with 10 seconds left? At least give yourself some kind of time. There's a lot of rumors going around saying maybe Pete Carroll was right.
No, he's not.
I'm not one way or the other on it.
Right now. I completely disagree that
Pete
Carroll.
Off of his Johnson.
Russ or Pete Carroll?
You, Russ.
I was like, because I'm quite the opposite with Pete Carroll. I'm stepping on Pete Carroll's neck.
I mean, me too. But
Russ is a good quarterback. He might be cringe. He might be the single most cringe player in the entire league.
Oh, 100%.
Ooh, dangerous. You ever feel that way?
Please put the commercial in there.
That was
Please
so.
put the commercial in
I don't
there.
want to get sued by Subway. I'm already gotten like 2 copyright strikes on my videos in the last like 3 weeks, even though I don't put anything. I don't even put game film in my videos.
So anyway,
Broncos, Raiders are falling to 0-3. Scooby Doo, fruit
Raiders
snacks.
falling
Sorry
to
for him.
4. Josh McDaniels needs to be fired after week 5.
Yeah, and then the last Sunday game, Chiefs Buccaneers.
I have this pretty easily as well.
Well, I don't say easy because the Buccaneers will be getting Mike Evans back, and that's obviously huge because last week Tom Brady had just nothing going on because he's. I mean, do you remember whose wide receivers were last week? Obviously, Russell Gage was out there, but who else was even out there?
Cole Beasley.
I completely forgot.
Who's the other white dude?
Me? I don't know.
No. What?
I don't know
his name.
What did the Rams just loan one of their white wide receivers that's not named Cooper Kupp? Hey, I'll put all the white wide receivers together. Maybe they won't know who's one of the best wide receivers in football.
Still not convinced that Ben Skoranek is a real person.
I don't think it's a real person. I don't think it's a real person.
But I mean, so does that mean you're going Buccaneers?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm going Chiefs. It is Sunday Night Football and Tampa, but we were at their football game, their playoff game last year. We know the Buccaneers don't really have like a strong home crowd.
No, they don't.
Like it was very weird going to that game last year, and it's the playoffs. If I had to see Gronk come on the big screen one more time saying "Raise those flags," I was going to walk down the field and strangle him myself. It was so it's so unbelievable how cringe Buccaneers games are in person. Like you have the greatest quarterback of all time. You just won the Super Bowl. You have one of the best rosters in the NFL.
That whole boat gimmick is
everything was so cringe.
Bad.
It was like I mean I maybe they just don't understand it because we're not Buccaneers fans, we're not Rams fans, so we're coming there as neutrals just to enjoy the game. It was so cringe how they handled the in-game festivities. For that alone, I'm going with the Chiefs.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs as well.
Chiefs would never be that cringe.
I think that their kicker now is going to not blow the game.
Do they have Bucker coming back, or are they just bringing a new guy?
I think they're just going with their safety.
Justin Reed.
Justin Reed.
Hey, he's got a boot.
He's better than whatever the
Matt Amendola.
Yeah, Matt Amendola.
Oh my gosh,
that guy was bad.
I remember when Reed was on the Texans. I love seeing videos of him taking like the kickoff. I was like, I will live for this because seeing an actual athlete do the kicker job.
It's like when Wes Welker kicked the extra point.
Ndamukong Suh.
Ndamukong Suh, bro, that was great.
Ocho Cinco
was fantastic.
Yeah, just honestly, just get rid of kickers and punters and just train other positions to do them. Like, I mean, we all know
I like Jason Sanders and his arm is really good.
I'm sorry, but he kind of cost us the game yesterday.
I mean, okay, one of them was
4
blocked.
points.
One of them was blocked.
Yeah, I know.
And I actually put that on my brother Eichenberg. He missed the block that had the guy come in and block it.
I'm glad that you finally accept that Liam Eichenberg is your brother.
And then what was it? The extra point? Yeah, I got nothing for you. That was just
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Okay, and then last game.
I think he's like the second most doink kicker in the league. He has to be.
Andrew's getting flashbacks. Rams 49ers, and we need a good primetime game. Like one of these two games, at least one of these two games has to be a good primetime game because they've all been meh for one reason. Like the Chiefs Chargers game, like okay, that was decent, that was pretty good. But then last night, Tua dies on the field. Then you had the opening Thursday night game where Bills absolutely wiped the floor. Then it's just been so much. We had that Monday night game last week, the Sunday night game last week. Oh, the primetime games last week were just
really
Rams
bad.
49ers though. Rams have not looked good. I'm calling an upset.
I was going to as well.
I'm calling 49ers.
I was really hoping you would be surprised by
technically, I'm not sure if it's technically an upset because the 49ers are favored by 1.5
What?
Here. Yep, the 49ers are 1.5 favorites. Over under a 42. I might go. Yes, I know. Like my coworker Gavin pointed out to me that like 60 or 70% of primetime games have resulted in the under, but I'm going over there.
I'm going over.
So yeah, I got 49ers. You see the 49ers too?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Ayuk's gonna go off for 6 catches, 120 yards.
Maybe one of these years. Maybe one of these years he's gonna live up to what everybody's desperately hoping him to live up to.